Is it? Haha. Awesome sauce. Oh, it actually even shows up live on our little page thing.
All right, here, let
I
me
can just share it now.
clearing the, shutting down the microphone so I don't get any kind of feedback. Hi! Welcome to
Hi!
ConCast. Hold on, I'm going to see if I
Sorry.
can do the intro. Hold on. Transition. And the answer is no.
Helps if I look at the camera.
No, it didn't. It didn't play that automatically. That's a bummer. Okay, well,
See,
another thing I need to work on.
That's why we're testing these out. You know, New Year's where it's all going to hit.
Oh yeah, 2024. That's new year, new me, right there, man.
This reminds me. I was thinking, this isn't anything like the old podcast in a way of I'm not wearing a geeky T-shirt. I'm drinking out of a coffee mug like a big boy. And we're so casual and almost like adults doing this shit now, and so just a bunch of geeky 40-year-olds were before.
Well,
Anyhow,
I still got the microphone somewhere around. I could put that out there if that makes you feel nostalgic.
yeah, like official podcast.
Yeah.
So easy anymore. That I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that.
Hey,
So hi, welcome to
Jen says hi.
Hi, Jen. Oh yeah, I see it. See, this is great. I can look at the screen now. I'm loving this. So welcome 2024 from I can't even do the whole borough thing. Kansas, middle of nowhere, centrally located, everything and nothing, all that.
I am sorry to interrupt you, but it's still 2023.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Shh. I've been filling out applications for festivals all day, and it's 2024, 2024, 2024. So, but yeah, we've got a lot of convention updates for local here that we'll cover at the end of the show.
Cool.
We're going to be talking about just Christmas stuff. I think is kind of what we discussed.
Yeah. We were going to talk about some of the cool stuff we got and what we planned on doing with the cool stuff we got and all the cool stuff like that.
And I know I wanted to hit in with some of the Marvel news and stuff that's coming out. Lots of news coming out right now. We'll hit that. But first, I think we should do Geek-gasams. We haven't done Geek-gasams in 3 years.
Geek-gasams. Let me see. My Geek-gasm is my little modeling that I'm doing. I've been making videos of, and they're getting some views on YouTube, so that makes me happy. I think in the past 15 days, I'm up to almost like 1,000 different views on them and stuff like that of people watching my hands, because that's all I'm putting in the camera. Put together my little models.
But you're using that melodious voice of yours, right?
Oh yeah, it sounds great too. I'm using this microphone too, so hopefully it picks up nice.
Are you doing the Star Trek models? Is that the deal?
What's that?
The Star Trek models?
Yeah. I posted up 2 different models. Multiple videos on each of them. One of them was the old series, a Romulan battle cruiser, which was the D7. That they didn't have the money when they were making the old series to come up with another ship for the Romulans, so they just took the Klingon D7 and slapped a different paint job on it and said, "Oh, they bought it from them," and so yeah, I made that, and then I also did the.
I just like hearing you talk nerd, because you're always like, you guys are nerds, you guys are geeks, and normally a lot of your stuff is all science based. It's kind of nice to hear you talk nerd.
Well, the reason I like Star Trek is because they science babble.
Yeah. Sometimes it's babble.
It is such babble. Oh, we have to reverse the tachyon flow. Oh, please.
Yeah. Every time it's the answer is we'll have some kind of technology we already have. If we just reverse something in it,
oh yeah,
or just change it a little bit, and it's going to be real hard, and 1 in a million chance, but it just might work. Works every damn time, and 1 in a million chance. And
we're missing. We got Tammy saying hi, and John saying hi too.
Hi, Tammy. Tammy sent me Merry Christmas a lot of people sent me Merry Christmas, and Christmas rush has been so busy. I have literally, to keep my granddaughter out of my hair, I just hand her my phone and I see it in the evening. So I have not responded to so many people.
And those people should not feel bad because he doesn't respond to me a lot. I end up just having to go through other people to get information to him. So don't feel bad.
busy, lazy, into myself. It's a thing. By
Well,
the
you
way,
know,
buddy, congratulations on the new car. It's slick looking.
who has a new car?
Buddy Jackson from uh damn it. Mine just went totally blank. Body Buccaneers.
Oh yeah, what do you get?
Yeah.
What'd you get, buddy?
Um yeah, buddy will tell you it was a black, oh god, was it a GMC or not? I just saw his big smile. He was so happy.
Oh, good.
Um but make sure I haven't missed anything here.
No, no, everybody's still
Oh, John
saying hi.
Finch was on. John's the guy I was talking about last time we did this that has a page on Facebook. If you guys are still looking, since we haven't been updating all our cons and stuff, check out his page. It's the Wichita Con community, different events coming up, different things like that. But anyhow, sorry that I interrupted your geekgasm telling you you're a geek. So go ahead.
Hey, you know what? If the shoe fits, still steal it.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm working with this thing right here. Okay. Yeah. So basically, I've been having fun doing that, and yeah, the other one that I put together was the Starship Discovery from the show Discovery. My least favorite ship and my least favorite show, but damn, I did a sweet paint job on it.
That's all that matters.
I know. I'm really proud of my paint job. It was to the point that at one point I masked off and did some details in a different thing because I didn't realize that it came with decals that were supposed to go on to give it the color, and I masked it and did it, by hand, and I got one of them done, and then I noticed that there were supposed to be decals that went on it, and I was like, oh, to hell with it. My paint job is sweet. I'm going with that. Screw the decals. So I had fun with that.
See, I'm so itching to get into the
Oh, you got
modeling.
a Chevy Traverse. Nice.
2021 rolling into big money
I
now.
know. I got a 2016 Chevy Trax. So it's like people ask me what it is. I'm like, it's a really tall hatchback. That's all it is.
It's a big car for you though.
Oh, it is. I'm a little car guy.
Well, as far as modeling and stuff goes, since you brought that up, my
Oh, so
big,
you're finally gonna take your clothes off? Bravo.
I am
I've been
there
saying.
it goes, yeah. um, the my big geekasm this year, it feels like a cheat our geekasms because normally there's a million things I could talk about of new comics, new movies, whatever.
This
Uh,
is this is
but
Christmas
it's
themed.
Christmas. Yeah. So
Well, hold on, not
my
really, because mine were things that didn't build, not what I got for Christmas. I got some cool stuff for Christmas.
well, let's hear what you got for Christmas before I jump into
Oh, let
mine.
me see. Jessica got me Deep Space Nine model that I need to put together. She says it was an accident. She thought that she was buying me like a early 1990s Borg cube model, but it turned out to be a 1990s Borg cube toy. And she said she spent way too much money on a niche toy because she thought it was a model. But it's still cool. I got it up on the shelf over here. Hold on.
I'm sure Star Trek fans will tear me apart, but to me, a Borg model you could almost just take all sort, kind of like they did with the old Death Star and stuff, where you just take all the model parts and put it in a square. Oh, that is pretty slick looking though.
It is pretty slick.
Nice little stand and everything.
Oh yeah. It even has. It's supposed to have 3 sounds, but it's old enough that it now only has 2 sounds. Uh,
But he's congratulating on on trying to de-pants me. So sorry.
well, we all have goals, buddy. Just keep
I,
on
I
keeping on.
I know I've
Uh,
gotten half naked on his stage at his fair before, so
eh,
uh, he's seen it.
but let me see that. Let me. Yeah, lots of little geek stuff. Oh, my mom for my modeling, she got me a new paintbrush.
Oh, airbrush.
Yeah, a new airbrush, an Iwata.
Oh, that's gonna have all metal parts and stuff in it, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they mostly do, but this one is. As my mom was asking me, she after she got it for me because it was on my Amazon list, she was like, "What? What is? Don't you already have an airbrush?" I was like, "Yeah, mom, and I already have a Chevy, but you bought me a BMW. All right, they're both going to get me from A to B, but one's a much better ride."
What's the difference between this one and one you got? Is this like dual action,
Oh,
all that?
the one I have now, this one is a Masters dual action.
Okay.
But like I said, it's just much better quality. This one is. Yeah, this is like one of the high dollar ones from straight from Japan.
Yeah, yeah, oh, straight from Japan, that'll do it.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
haven't
it's
busted
like
out
the
my
difference
airbrush in about
between
2 years.
a Chevy Trax and a BMW 3 Series. They're both hatchbacks, but one is much better.
And, this could be a good time too, because I see a lot of my geeky friends are watching, so, man, feel free to put in the comments stuff you guys are getting for Christmas, because I wanna feel jealous. This is, like, my first year getting, like, real gifts in a while, because
Yeah,
I'm a
and I
middle-aged
am
criminal.
really excited about the gift that your boy got you. I'm
I
really
know. Well,
excited.
it wasn't just my boy. I don't. My son Gabe, my adopted son Diego, and my wife went in on the big one, which was my.
Did we adopt Diego, or do we
Yeah,
just say that?
no, no, not an actual adoption. No, I just say adopted because
Okay,
him
he's
and Gabe
family
live
as it
together. It
is.
makes it
Screw it.
easy, and he comes and does geeky stuff with us sometimes. But
I mean, if I didn't
um,
know better, I would think that he's your son-in-law.
yeah, no, no. Uh, they they got me the new Ender 3 uh oh god, what is it? Ender 3 like SE something.
Ender 3 version,
There
Ender
you go.
3 V3 SE.
Which is a 3D printer,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a nice 3D printer. Because
I'm
normally I go
very
to like Frankie or Darrel or Diego and say, "Hey, print this for me." And I'd been planning on buying this thing for months. I went on to buy it a couple times, and you got to order it from Japan, and then it like so there was credit card problems, different things that just wouldn't let you do. So I had to go through PayPal, and then it came to Christmas. And I was like, I'll order it after Christmas, and it just kept hitting brick wall after brick wall. So they ordered it for me, got it all set up, and they've already printed a couple things. I've got 2 months worth of files ready to print, and I am so excited about it. I mean, between gaming, modeling, just all sorts of stuff. I've got stuff for my office, Ghostbuster stuff I'm printing, miniature stuff for Warhammer. I am super excited, and it is so much easier to use than the one that you guys have.
Oh yeah, it is so
Uh,
much. I mean, I literally ever since that V3 has come out, as I've told you, I've had to fight the urge to have an accident with mine so that I have to get a new one.
the version
Because
you have, they're selling those buy one get one free now because this new one's doing so well.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and the thing is that I don't even have the V2. I've got the V1 that I went later on and purchased the extra stuff to upgrade it to a ad hoc version 2. And the software in it, it was is don't even get me started on the firmware that I had to find for it. I mean, it works good. It puts out some good products. I showed you like pictures of that Oogie Boogie that I printed and stuff. I mean, really good, but it
Those
doesn't have the ease of use of yours, and it definitely doesn't have the speed. Yours can print 3 times faster than mine, no problem.
well, the ease is what has really got me because I'll watch you guys and you'll be like, ah, the bed needs leveling or something.
Oh
There's
yeah,
always something,
yeah. It's
and then
always something. My Z offset is unlike or oh the feed is and you've got direct feed. You don't have to worry about Bowden tubes. You've got automatic bed leveling. You got automatic
yes,
Z offset. I mean, it is a sweet little rig that you got.
the automatic bed leveling and even cleaning it. Like I'd watch you guys clean your screens, and this one you just like pull a little magnetic thing out and you just kind of pop it, and anything doesn't come off, you just real quick scrape with the thing. It takes about 30 seconds to clean it and be ready for your next print.
Now,
And
here's the thing with the bed that you have, that magnetic one that with that um, really coarse surface on it. Um,
it's
Go
I
ahead.
don't think it's terribly coarse, but it's not smooth like
Compared to
what
the
you guys.
glass one I have,
Yes, yeah,
it's
yeah.
fairly coarse. Some people have issues with some of the first layer filament, sticking to it, and they can't get it cleaned off. The easy way to clean that stuff off is just print a complete bed, 1 layer thick. Just print that, and anything that's stuck to the bed will stick to that new layer that you printed. And when you peel it off, it'll take that with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
and with the speed on yours, where it would take an hour for me to print, or like however long for to print, you'll have that entire bed, first layer done in just like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yours is so fast.
It 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 is goes real fast. I started printing this like 12-inch by 12-inch Ghostbuster logo the other day, and
Hmm.
and it was one of those just within 10 minutes, you could already see exactly
Hmm.
what it was. It
Yeah,
was
in
just,
10 minutes, mine would still be trying to put down the first layer.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is so nice. And it's got like Gabe printed up some of the articulating dragons,
yeah,
which were 9-hour prints. And then he's just like, I'll just bust it up to 200 speed. It'll take 4 hours to print.
yep.
Um, so I'm going to start printing stuff for convention stuff. I'm doing a whole ecto or a whole proton pack and stuff. Haven't started that yet, but I got
Oh
plans
yeah,
for it.
and you mentioned for lighting on that. I was going to show you right now. I'm working on lighting for the next model I'm doing. I'm doing a
We're talking about
1/1000.
interior lighting, like running fiber optics inside the model.
Right.
So yeah,
And I'm building my own lighting rig this time, and so I'm actually working on it, and I'm working at getting away from the SMD LEDs for the nacelles because it just leads to hot spots. Just those two hot spots. And instead, let me see here. Oh yeah, um, I've got like COBs, LEDs that'll just light up like that, so it's not just a couple of hot spots. Some nice COBs, and where's that? And also some really good. Yeah, where's it at? You can't see it.
can't
There
see
it
it.
is.
There you
Some
go.
really good, other LEDs and stuff like that. I can really help you hook up your proton pack, make sure it lights up right.
I definitely like. I've been saving some LEDs and stuff. I picked up little things here and there, but that's all downstairs in my office, and
Yeah.
I can't just pull it up and show it because I almost did this downstairs so I could turn it and show you guys my whole setup. I got a real nice
Well,
setup in there.
that's the great thing about you doing this on your laptop now. You can do that.
Well, in fairness, I couldn't do it because Gabe decided to take it over and do some readjustments at his apartment, and he's
Oh yeah.
currently down there setting it up now for me because he wanted to make sure we were having some printing problems, so he wanted to make sure everything was right.
Now I wanted to ask you what program. This is where I stopped earlier and I was like, oh no, we need to talk about this on the Concast and not discuss it ahead of time. I wanted to ask you what program you were using to slice with.
Um, it's probably on here. I am still very new to a lot of this. Let me see if I can have a look because Gabe set that all up for me,
Okay.
and I do not seize it
See, it's
off the
either
top of my head.
probably
Oh,
Prusa or Cura.
Kira sounds right.
Yeah.
It
See, the only
sounds right, but
problem
I
is,
couldn't
is
tell you
that
for
your
sure.
printer is still so new that when it comes to slicing, from what I understand, um, Cura and Prusa and stuff like that do not yet have the profiles that maximize your printer. They haven't come up with a profile yet. The only one that has the profile is the one that comes with the printer, which is the Creality slicer, and that one has the profile for the SC that maximizes that speed.
Creality sounds right, or something that Gabe was telling me about too, but
Hmm.
I haven't. I'm still in the learning process, and everything so far has been telling my 21-year-old son to, "Hey, could you fix that?" And I'll just watch. That's
Oh,
been
trust me. I
it.
almost had to, at one point, I almost had to call my 14-year-old in and ask him how to use this OBS studio. How would I get in a certain source to it that I needed? But luckily, I figured it out on my own.
Well, that's a good thing about doing the podcast the way we're doing it right now is uh, pretty soon we'll start having it where we're gonna have other people on. We'll be able to talk to people a lot easier. We're
Oh yeah.
just kind of testing it out, seeing where we are, uh, and
See,
going from there. And we're
because
doing it
right
very casual in front of all of you, I
because
guess.
right now what I'm actually doing is we're talking on Google Meet. All right,
Mhm.
that's what we're using to talk with, and then I'm taking that and I'm streaming it through OBS, and in order to be able to get it to look nice, and then from there I'm streaming that directly to Facebook and I'm recording it at the same time so I can put it up onto YouTube later as well. And I know that there's a an add-on that I can download that will allow me to do multiple streams. So I'll be able to stream it to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And so the there's lots of functionality that we're trying out here. It's not just a straight up let's stream to Facebook like we normally do.
Well, what we were doing there toward the end, at least, that
Yeah,
I want to hit real quick. A couple people. Jacob got a gaming PC. That's a big get.
that is a big get.
Uh, Buddy got Xbox Series X, which fuck that guy because he just got a new car. Um, God, why do all my friends play Xbox? I play PlayStation, and uh, but then again, all the 20 and 21-year-olds and stuff I play with, they all play Xbox.
Well,
They're all
one of the
moving to
things
PC
is that
too.
Xbox has the Game Pass.
Or I should say they're all playing PlayStation. Sorry if I didn't say it right.
Not a lot of them. I mean, my boy, all of his friends are playing the Xbox or PC.
I wonder if there's a difference because they're all like 14, 15,
Hmm.
and all these guys are like early 20s.
I think what it is I think it's a lot of what their parents bring them up on.
I can see that.
Yeah, because you brought your boy up on PlayStation because that's what you played.
Kristen said, "Oh, sorry, I missed it." Kristen got money so far, but haven't done friend gift exchange yet. I don't know what Buddy said. Doomlings
Yeah, I don't
and
know
Here
what
to
that is,
Slay.
Doomlings, and Here
I
to
don't know.
Slay,
Jacob has PlayStation. Thank you, Jacob, for keeping it real. Because
and so does Kristen.
so is Kristen. I know Kristen's one of the few people that I have, I think, as a friend on my PlayStation. I've got about 10 friends on my PlayStation, and I play with very few of them. I play with 21-year-old or the 20-year-olds next door mostly.
Yeah, he plays
But
with 20-year-olds.
huh?
Nothing.
No. Oh, yeah, yes. um, so as far as other geekasms, I got some like bone conducting headphones from Gabe
Oh
for
yeah.
Christmas. They're real nice. Doing a lot of the work I do. Earbuds fall out all the time. Even setting up at fair, working on rental properties and stuff. That stuff just falls out. I don't know how many times I've dropped one in a can of paint. These just go right on, hold on. I could do gymnastics with them on. They're
Yeah,
so nice.
and plus you can also hear with them on.
And I can have a conversation if I had to with them on.
Hmm.
And they're so much easier. I was using them yesterday to clean my office, and I was ecstatic because I was doing a lot with Christmas. I got to do a lot of extra stuff, making room for that 3D printer. So I went in my office, and I'm sure every geek has this kind of stuff where we've collected things from conventions like models or signed autographs or whatever.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I'm going to display that. I'm going to put this up, and then it ends up in a stack or in a box. And I keep fearing that my kids one day I'll die in a car accident or something, bring it dark, and they won't know what to do with all this stuff, or they'll just go through and go, I is that signed? Is that I don't know what that is. So I was able to start going through and yesterday putting everything in frames, putting them up on walls, making
Nice.
everything look good, putting displays up so it starts looking cool and it's not just cool shit in boxes that I go, yeah, I got one of those. It's actually like a little museum. It's pretty cool. I mean,
Man,
to me,
you
it's cool. My
are
wife, not so
you
much.
your signal's getting kind of droppy. Are the boys over there hogging your bandwidth right now?
I don't know. I told him I was going to be doing a podcast, but
Ah, okay. Tell them to stay off Pornhub. Uh,
see, yeah, I can see the difference between you guys can't see. All right. Huh,
now
I
you
wonder
you
what's up.
cleared up for a second there. You were dropping frames.
There we go. All right, that'll make good for audio podcast. Um,
But no, like Gannon right now, I've lost him for the last several days because the two big presents that he was very well, besides his Steph Curry jersey,
mhm,
is that the guy's name?
that sounds right,
Some
Steph Curry.
sports dude, I don't know. So he got some sports stuff, and but he's really big into the PC gaming, and we got for him because he had been using my old desk from when I was younger than him, and I had gotten it used then. So this desk is probably 60 years old, and it's just a small corner desk. So we got him a new big L-shaped computer desk, and they had them on sale at Walmart. We got him a Samsung 32-inch curved monitor, so he could game with the. Oh, I've lost him ever since we put that together when we got back from visiting family on Christmas Day, and I have maybe exchanged 10 words with him since then.
I want to get my boy one of those big curved monitors like that too. That's it. It just looks so cool for the gaming.
Oh, it is great. Gannon's loving it. He's saying that his the field of view that he has when he's playing is a lot better, and it was relatively cheap. It was about the same cost as your 3D printer.
Oh shoot! Which I feel like I should do a commercial now for that 3D printer. Anybody looking to get a 3D printer? I know very little, but my friends around me, Ash and Frankie and Diego and everybody, they all know a lot more. and you hooked me up on this deal. Um, it was only $200 for the 3D printer.
Right.
It's a good deal. It does so much more, and it's for people like me who are a little less tech savvy. It has made it so easy,
Oh, it
and
is.
there's coupon like you've gotten a couple coupons since then to where I think right now with some of the coupons you can get it's like $180 or something.
Yeah, I think it was like 187 or something like that on the last coupon I sent you.
But if
But
somebody didn't know much, that this is the one to go look at. All the reviews, everything, the price is right, the functionality is right.
mhm.
Definitely, if you don't know much about it, it's easy to use. God, it's easy and it can do so much stuff. I know some of my friends have like Honk's got a resin. Mike Honecker's got a resin printer that he uses, which I'd love to use. It's good for doing miniatures and stuff.
I got one of
You
those.
too? Yeah. See, and I'd like to move up to that, but for
Well,
starting out, that's a
no,
relatively
I'd have to, let me see here.
reasonable price, easy to do. So I feel like I'm moving my coffee mug because I'm about ready to jump into geek topics, and some of them got me animated here.
See, there's the resin printer, and over there is the normal printer.
Yeah, see
The
that?
big red thing there is the UV shield on the resin printer.
Yeah, the resin printer. I got to
Yeah.
move up to one of those eventually, but
Sorry.
but
Which? This way. All right.
I,
And
I feel
then
like
there's
with
my
this
normal printer.
with this printer I feel very much like half the time when people are go, hey, you need to get the new whatever new version of PlayStation or whatever when it comes out all the time, or and I'll be like, I could play games for the next 2 years and never run out of shit to play. I won't be bored. I won't be granted. I won't get to play some of the new ones like the new Ghostbuster games PS5 only or the new Spider Man's PS5 only. But with this thing, I even if they get new versions out, I could sit here for the next 2 years and print stuff and not get bored, not run out of stuff to print, not run out of stuff that I can print.
Oh,
I'd be just
and
fine.
once you start getting on to like printables.com and Thingiverse
Mm-hmm.
and all those places where there are tons of free things to print. One of the things I love about printables, this is one of the great things on printables, and I think on some of the other ones like 3D Cult and stuff like that, they run contests all the time. All right, and people, like a contest will be jewelry or or 2D art or just whatever stuff for your hair. Yeah, they'll just whatever topic they have, and people will just make all these different things, and they're all free to download and stuff like that. And so you can go through all the old contests and see all the stuff that people have presented and what won and what and there will be hundreds and hundreds of entries for every contest. And there's some really good stuff in there, like some of the ornaments that I've been printing that I've posted up. I
Yep.
got those from those. Like yeah, there's one over there that I pulled up that is it's lit from underneath by a tea light
Yeah.
and lights
Those
from inside.
those photo things you were doing,
Oh, the
where you could see
lithophanes, yeah, they got a whole
those
bunch of
were awesome.
lithophane things. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they even had one entire contest that the subject matter was wine, and so there was all kinds of stoppers, there were all kind of bottle holders, all kinds of presentation stuff.
You have
Um,
to send me some of the sites you use because my wife's already ready to kill me because Christmas Day when I got it and Gabe's setting it all up, I'm already on looking at free files. It's like which I found that War Rocket Ajax
oh
cockpit I was
yeah,
talking
yeah, I sent to you.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and I was like,
no,
oh, and a
work up
sword
to that.
hanger for my flash Gordon
You
sword.
work up to the rocket ship Ajax.
Yes, yes, I know. Yeah, I'm starting on small stuff right now.
I mean, I've
Um,
got the entire 1/350 size Reliant printed out and in a bin right now. I haven't gotten to the point that I'm going to put it together, but the entire model is printed out and it takes up a whole Tupperware bin just on what I printed out. And it took literally a month and 5 kilograms, 5 kilos of filament for me to print the whole thing out.
Christy keeps looking at some of these and she goes, "You're going to print that out one piece at a time." I said, "Over time, like when I go out of town, go do a show, I'll have it print a run in on some of this, and then I'll put it in a box. I'll put together one, and one day."
Yeah.
And she's like, "You got models sitting up there now that you haven't put together in 10 years." I've got that
She's got a point.
3D flying mule that the Burrow gave us, and it's still sitting here in the box. I started it when we did an online Anime Fest thing, and just I've got so many. And she's like, "Why you start new ones?" And it's like, "Oh, the new ones are new. They're
Yeah, I've
but
got I've got a literal pile. I mean, I can look here and let me see. Starting from the bottom, I've got a B wing, an A wing, 1 350 Klingon bird of prey.
oh, you
A,
got Star Wars stuff in there, so you watch good sci-fi too, then?
yeah, yeah. When I'm not
Yeah.
watching Star Wars, I watch the good stuff like Star Trek.
Oh,
I've got the cutaway Enterprise where it's cut down the middle so you can see everything inside.
yeah, that's a real cool.
I got the Enterprise C. I've got the 537 Enterprise. I've got the Deep Space Nine that Jessica and Gannon just got for me for Christmas. And that's just right there. I've also got two models there, and I've probably got another six upstairs that are, and each of these are getting progressively more. Like the lighting that I showed on the one that I'm going to be
Yeah.
doing. I'm not just doing the lighting. I am doing. Let me see here. I station things so I can show it off just in case.
See, I should have done.
Um,
I'm so casual with this episode compared to normal, where it's all a little more structured and
oh
stuff.
yeah,
I'm just like, we'll get on and talk. As long as we get to talk, I'm fine.
yeah, same here. Well, I got the photo etch for it, where the extra small parts are photo etched. Wow, come on, right there.
Okay, I see it. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
and I also have the the paint masks where you put down, instead of using the decals to do the Aztecing on it. Instead, I will be putting down paint mask and hand painting with my new Iwata airbrush, hand painting in the Aztec decals on the hull with the
Okay.
paint mask.
I feel like we could sit here and do a whole episode on 3D printing. We should move on, but the one thing I'll finish saying was the Christmas day, since I got on and looked up so much stuff.
Yeah.
Every time my wife gets on like YouTube now or
Oh,
on,
is your
we are
feed
getting
full of it?
just a feed full of just 3D printer stuff, Thingiverse, thing, whatever, just constant. And
I have to go in my feed sometimes. I have to go in there and just look at different things intentionally so it'll stop feeding me the same stuff over and over. I
yeah,
have to do that, and sometimes I make the mistake. I will go and look up something, that like Jessica wants to buy. Then all of a sudden, my social media is just every other thing is an ad for whatever I looked at, and so I have to go and then start looking at other things so that it can stop trying to sell me on a new sofa.
I told Christy I thought about watching porn for a while just because I know it will overtake all the other shit I'm getting. I was looking up like Scooby Doo because I want to make a Blood Bowl team of Scooby Doo figures,
Oh, nice.
and so now I'm getting all sorts of weird Scooby Doo shit just coming through. Which I like weird Scooby Doo, but it's a lot of like fan made, and when people do fan made, it's not always good, you know.
No,
Which
no. There's
Robin just got on and said good evening.
good
Hey Robin,
evening,
how you doing?
good evening, Richard.
Merry Christmas, brother.
Um, but
Well,
yeah, no, there's yeah, it really overtakes your stuff. And for a while there, I mean, what was it, like 2 years ago or something like that? For a while there, apparently YouTube thought I was a woman who was menstruating, because
really?
every non-skippable ad that YouTube was throwing at me was for feminine hygiene products, and boy, those things are very descriptive. I learned all how to apply and utilize. Yeah, those are. I'm glad it
I've
finally
had
figured
I've
out
had
that
some
wasn't me.
arguments with you where I go, you remind me of a menstruating woman. I'm
Well,
gonna get in trouble for
occasionally I do channel my inner John.
that. Thank you, thank you. We should probably move on to some topics and stuff,
Mm,
because otherwise we're just gonna sit here and talk, and people are gonna be in the middle of our phone conversation pretty much. Um, I got some cons to go over. I want to look at my notes here to make sure cons. We'll hit that at the end. Um, I know I was talking to you a little bit about at some point in the future, once we get this thing rolling right, I want to do a Death of Disney episode.
Yeah, you had mentioned something about some stuff happening right now with Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, there's a lot of little things. I mean, Disney's in a bit of a spiral. I want to word myself properly here because I don't want to like throw out
Just
opinions. Like when I bring up woke stuff, I don't want people to think I'm anti woke or none of this is political stuff. This is all comic book geek stuff. I want to point that out right away.
right.
So I don't want to sit here and go like, Disney's putting, they're making a Hispanic girl Snow White, which is a whole nother subject we can hit. That stuff's not so much the issue. It's keeping somewhat true to the elements of the movies.
You would
Um,
think of all the characters that they would want to keep white, Snow White.
yeah. Oh yeah, the one that's as white as snow. That movie with and they did the dwarves. They couldn't do dwarves, so they did seven magical like people. I mean, it's been going on for a year, but it hit real big when they released the picture of the dwarves not long ago. And all that for sure will hit in the Death of Disney episode.
Yeah,
But I want to hit the Ryan Reynolds shit
yeah.
now a
What's
little bit
happening with the Reynolds?
because most everybody I know likes Ryan Reynolds. There's some people who don't, but he's one of those guys. Even as my wife walks in, and goes ooh, and sees him on the screen, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I
Yeah,
just he is so like as far as playing Deadpool, he was the guy to do.
yeah.
He
No
got
one
Hugh
else could have
Jackman
been
back,
Deadpool like he was.
right? Matter of fact, if I'm going to talk some of the Disney shit, I might switch from my mug to a bottle of beer here.
All right, cool beans.
But the right now they're having a lot of issues because Disney is not going to have a great track record lately. Wish tanked at the box office. Everything's been taken. Even superhero movies like Ant-Man didn't do great. Hell, the new Aquaman, of course, they've got the whole Amber Heard thing. I went to the clearance aisle at Walmart today. Aquaman came out a week ago, and the clearance aisle is already full of Aquaman shit.
Well,
I know 'cause
Jessica said that
from
she
door to
went and
wall.
saw Aquaman. When she went and saw Aquaman, she told me that they have removed Amber as much as they possibly
Right.
could from that movie.
And as big Aquaman fan as I am, it's the thing that's kept me from rushing out and going and seeing it. Not that I have a huge Amber Heard hate, which I kind of do, but it's just the whole thing's muddled. It's been re-edited and rewritten and retweaked, and they
Well,
get
hold
in
on.
straight. Yeah.
Is Aquaman, is that Disney?
No, 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 that's not. I was bringing that up because we're having so much superhero fatigue in
Oh,
the theaters.
definitely. That's a huge thing too. Is they are right now they're used to the $1 billion takes on these movies. So anything that doesn't make $1 billion is considered a flop.
Well,
When it used to be, if it made its money back, it was okay.
and it held the Marvels was the big one that got it because the first Cap Marvel made $1 billion, but it was also sandwiched in between the two uh, Avengers
Yeah,
Endgame and
we had to watch it in order to figure out what the hell was on that freaking page.
they told us we had to watch it. Did we though?
No,
Did
we
we?
didn't. Tell
The
you the
only
truth.
thing it did is people who didn't know who Cap Marvel was when she showed up, they're like, "Oh, at least we know who it is."
Yeah, tell you the truth.
I know they had
I
bigger
didn't
plans.
watch it until maybe a year ago.
Oh, see, and that's a whole subject I could get into on the plans they had for Captain Marvel and how they screwed that all up. But right now, the Ryan Reynolds thing.
Yeah, what's
Ryan
going on
Reynolds
with that?
came out with Deadpool originally. When that came out, huge deal. Great movie. Everybody loved it. He did it right.
Yeah,
Deadpool 2. Some people don't like as much as one, but did a great job with it.
yeah.
They were able to bring in female characters, do make badass female characters in it that we all love. I know you and I, when talking about bringing female characters in and making them badasses, we bring up the Dread movie sometimes.
Oh yeah, love
Yeah.
Lena Helm. What is it? Lena
Oh, I can't think of her name now.
Helmsley.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones and everything.
Yeah,
And
yeah. She
he,
was such a great baddie in the Dread movie.
they got Judge Anderson, who's good in there, who's great in there, but
Mm.
then you got this badass female, and at no point did they do like, oh, in spite of her being a female, she got to this point, and in spite of her like handicap of having a vagina somehow that brought her down, she was just a badass character, just
Just
like
so badass.
a Ripley or a Sarah Connor that people love,
Right.
and they should do more of that. And instead, what they do is they do more of this, like with She-Hulk, which I actually like that series, but the She-Hulk looking at the Hulk and saying, even though you just cripple yourself trying to save half of all of creation and
Yeah.
everything living in existence, and you have fought aliens and all this shit, and you're battling with this demon that lives inside of you. Oh, I've been a woman and had to live under men's oppression, so I've had it worse than you. That really, that kind of thing isn't good writing for a character. That's just saying, look at me, I'm female. It's not progressive, it's inclusive, which is a big difference. It doesn't progress anything. So and now movies are getting paid to put that content in. So with Deadpool 3 now, they have decided they started shooting down some of Ryan Reynolds stuff because he was in charge of that project. They started shooting down like bringing in characters from the Sony universe because a lot of them they don't plan on using. So Disney's like, well, we won't make much money out of them, and Ryan's like, but it'll make a good movie.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see Spider-Man and Deadpool on the screen together.
A,
You're like,
a must.
yeah, no, but they're not going to be making money off of that because they're not promoting new movies. And right now Disney's trying to promote because they've just fired Jonathan Majors, who plays King, and he's the big Thanos bad guy for this whole new.
Yeah.
He's now fired and out, and they're replacing him with Beyonder, Doctor Doom, a number of people. But so what they're doing is trying to put an all-female X-Men team into Deadpool. And Ryan's got his own plans, and Ryan was on board to write a bunch of the upcoming X-Men stuff for Marvel. He was
Yeah.
going to be in, I think, 7 different movies through 2023 or 2024 and 2025. And right now, Disney's doing so bad, they're really banking on Deadpool 3 to pull them out of this rut they're in and bring everybody back to the Marvel Universe. So instead of just letting Ryan and his team go and do what they do, and they do well,
Mm-hmm.
well, they're getting involved. Bob Iger needs uh, that boost to show that he's doing a good job since they brought him back to
Yeah.
run Disney. So he's getting his thing in. They rewrote pretty much the whole third act for Deadpool.
Ugh.
And Ryan's like, nope. They've been fighting. Finally, and I am bringing this down to a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, I could go into great depth, but finally, what he had to do is he had to say, okay, well then I just won't do any of the promotional stuff. I won't do any of the editing stuff. You guys just do it. We'll make the movie. You guys take it. I'm out. And they already fired him from like 5 projects, upcoming projects. He's only going to make like 3 more appearances after this, and he's done. And they'll all be cameos. And he finally just said, because they took Hugh Jackman out of the third act of Deadpool 2
No.
completely, so they could bring female X-Men characters in to focus on. And he finally said, okay, then I'm out. You guys just do your thing. Fuck you all. And of course, that would kill him on money. He'd get all sorts of fines because his contract says he has to do this shit.
Oh,
And he
he's
says,
got the
okay, I'll
money
break
for it.
contract. Huh?
He's got the money for it.
Yeah. And he's just like, I don't care. I'll break contract. You got whatever.
Yeah.
And they've just started backpedaling just now.
Good.
They put Wolvie back in Act 3. They took a couple of the X-Men things out and they've given him some of the Sony cameos.
Good.
But it's so bad when they're having this huge fight, this battle back and forth right now between them. So they knew they're going to have difficulties coming into Disney from Sony, but it's literally they're taking one of the favorite characters and favorite people actually playing one of these characters. And Disney's just kind of wiping their ass with it. They're
Mm-hmm.
saying we don't care about the fan base. We have an agenda. I mean, literally, that's the word they're
Disney
using.
has never cared about Deadpool.
Not,
Deadpool has been the thing that has succeeded despite them. I mean, in order to get the original one made to begin with, someone had to leak that test footage that they did.
right.
And if
But
it wasn't for that, which we all know that was Ryan, if it
oh yeah,
wasn't for that, then it never would have been made.
yeah, and agreed. And granted, that was with Sony and not Disney, but it's the same shit. And I'm almost echoing what Disney says here. Same shit they did with or what Kelly said here is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Some of the same stuff they did. It's a lot of this woke culture and ideology that they're trying to shove in there, and then below that, because they make a paycheck off of that. Below that, then it's
Okay, you keep saying they make a paycheck off that. Who's paying that?
oh god, I don't have the exact.
It can't be Budweiser because they fucked up.
No, I don't have the exact info here for me. What is it? The IED is what? if somebody on here knows, let me know. There's two different programs that movies are getting for inclusivity, and they make money off of it. They get breaks, tax breaks and stuff. So like if you have a movie and you make the character a female lead, you get a kickback. You make the character a female lead that is part of the LGBTQ community, you get a bigger kickback. The more inclusion you do of things like that, the more money you make. So what they're taking is, instead of taking a property that already has that kind of inclusion, or taking a character that is already like a strong female or a strong minority
Social
and
credit
using them,
score? No, that's China.
um, instead of doing that, what they're doing is they're taking properties that already exist and saying we're going to shove this stuff into those properties. So that's one
They're
reason
trying
you've
to
seen it.
have their cake and eat it too.
Right, and they're making money and kickbacks off that. My deal is, and I should be talking out my ass here because I don't know where that money comes from. If it's a government program or what it is, I'll have that for next episode. I'll have it
Okay.
all ready. But it is, because I wasn't planning on bitching about the woke stuff too much as just the way they're handling things with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan was planning on doing so much stuff with the mutant universe coming up with all the X-Men and things. Had some really good plans. Fans of the comics, that phase one of Marvel, it's what they did. They went to the comic artists, the comic writers. Let's bring them in. They got actors who fit that character very well. Robert Downey Jr. is a
Hmm.
great example. Now it's just like, now they're struggling so bad, actors in Hollywood aren't even wanting to be part of the Marvel universe anymore. They
No, no. Now
Fantastic
that
Four
is
just got
starting to
delayed.
become a death sentence.
Yeah, Fantastic Four just got delayed again. They have cast Mr. Fantastic 4 times now, I think.
Were they going with the
Now with
dude from The Office?
yeah, originally John Krasinski. Now
Yeah,
it's Pedro Pascal, who's a great actor.
he's a great actor.
He's
I
not a
don't know
Reed
if he's a
Richards.
Reed Richards.
They just delayed it because even at one point they had all four of the Fantastic Four cast. People backed out. Even Margot Robbie at one point was rumored to be Sue Storm. They backed all that out,
Oh, she don't
and
need
now
that.
they
Margot
can't.
Robbie, she's an untouchable juggernaut right now. She
Mm,
doesn't need to be Storm. I mean, she can basically right now she can get whatever project she wants greenlit
well, and
and
when you got
and
that kind
just
of
ride that.
traction,
What?
when you got that kind of traction, tying yourself down to a franchise for 10 years or 5 or 6 movies is
Well, but the
not a
thing is that
great option.
people like her. I mean, she now has the traction to do passion projects, and it's those passion projects that sometimes turn into some of people's best works because it's their passion. I mean, this whole thing with Deadpool, that was Ryan Reynolds' passion project,
Right. And
and
now
yeah,
I want to see where he goes with that passion project. The
yeah.
ideas he
But
has,
see, now the
and
problem
we
is
can't
the
see it
money
now.
people got their hooks in it, and they're trying to milk it for all they can.
Yeah, but
Um,
the
but
things they're
but like I was saying, like with Margot, I would really like to see what she, because that whole with Barbie, she rolled through this Barbie thing, and it was just phenomenal. Everything that she's done with it, and how you know basically mostly positive it is.
I I know Kelly's watching. He'll probably disagree with me on this one. I actually, oh god, he just put a whole bunch of stuff
I
up
know he
too.
did. Look at that, bam!
Um, I uh
Warner
I
Paramount
enjoyed
merger. Talk
I
to me more
enjoyed
about
the
this,
Barbie
Roberto.
movie. The have you watched it yet?
What?
The Barbie movie?
No, I have not, and I have not watched. I've not watched the Heisenberg one either.
Neither have I. Open Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer, thank you.
Yeah. The
But let me tell you, I did love The Martian with Matt Damon. I'm sorry. Every time I say his name, I have to say it like it was from Team America. But
the
did
Martian
you
with
ever
Matt
watch The
Damon, wasn't
Martian?
that like 3 years old?
What, The
4
Martian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and I love it.
Oh, I just
I
glad you
don't
brought that
watch
up.
movies multiple times. I don't watch movies multiple times. I don't watch shows multiple times unless they really hook me. And I've probably watched The Martian 2 or 3 times now. Just like I watch. Have you seen Mr. Right with Sam Rockwell?
This, yeah, anything Sam Rockwell's in, I
Dude,
dig.
that was such a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's like this generation's Long Kiss Goodnight.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, what was Sam just got announced in something big. Damn it, because Christy and I both got excited. I can't remember what it is now. Um, but yeah, I mean, hell, me being in the culture I am, and you meet celebrities. I got a whole room downstairs just dedicated to some movies from the '80s, Ghostbusters, Flash Gordon, and I rewatch that shit all like just cleaning house. I'll throw Flash
See,
Gordon on or something.
I can't do that. I can't, what Jessica does that. She has stuff on for background and she'll be rewatching series, just playing in the background for background noise, for the umpteenth time. I mean, I can literally almost quote you the entire. I mean, I can hear like one line, and I know that it's Gilmore Girls, or I know that it's Buffy or whatever, because she just watched them so many times again and again. But I can't do that. There's very few movies that I will watch multiple times.
Kelly had chimed in and said social credit score is
I
what you
know, but
said, but
that's
that's
something
not
that
it.
China's doing.
And I bet Birdo is on here. I bet he
Yeah,
would know.
Berto was just talking about something else there that I wanted him to
But yeah,
mention.
I was looking for the two programs that they're giving for the inclusivity and things like that in the movies. And again, don't get me wrong, I'm all about inclusivity. Writing is really important. Bob Iger just did an interview not long ago about which he was totally full of shit because he didn't mean any of it. But it's they're trying to bring Disney back to good storytelling and get rid of some of their agendas. It's like, let's do that. But then immediately they turned around and, said, here, we're doing this agenda, and this agenda. And excuse me, it's been proven lately to not work. And it's not that people are up in arms of we can't have a female character that is bisexual or something. That's fine.
Yeah,
It's
we
the
don't
writing.
care.
They're more worried about putting inclusivity in, and then the writing is like sixth or seventh on the list.
Yeah,
What good stories? You know how many times I picked up a comics like the art wasn't that great, but the story is freaking awesome.
yeah. The
They
original
should
Ninja
make that
Turtles.
movie. I dig the art for the original Ninja Turtle. You know how much of my art was based on just redrawing their shit when I was a kid.
About as
Oh,
much as me whenever I was trying to do some drawing. All mine was based off of Bloom County.
no, I could see Bloom County. That you seem like a Bloom County guy to me. That
Oh
makes sense.
man, Berkeley Breathed, loved them.
Let's see. I'm not even going to proofread this. Kelly says, they're remembering everything or remaking everything. I hope a new Highlander will be good, which a whole nother controversy there. I think they get kickbacks from the minority groups for making them gay, trans.
Minority groups don't have money to do kickbacks with.
We watch these movies for the escape,
They're
not
spending
the
all
message.
that money on U-Hauls when they move in with each other on the third date. All right.
um, shoot, Berto said they're in talks right now, but I missed what it was for. Which, and Roberto would know this too. They're redoing RoboCop yet again. Um, let's see. Oh, Kelly says, "What am I going to disagree with you on?" I when I said the Barbie movie, I enjoyed it. I thought I saw you put up a review that you were not wild about that one. Um, but yeah, I actually enjoyed it. It was a very surreal kind of. It's one of those you're watching. You're like, I should have been high to watch this though. It's it's out there, man. It's a little weird.
Watch it, man. I got high. I got so high in college, I thought A Walk in the Clouds was a good movie with Keanu Reeves, and that was in his bad movie days.
Yeah, I just posted up this year at Great Plains. The Spring Renaissance Festival is on 420, and I'm like, this
Oh, that's going to be an odiferous fair.
the pirate smoker. We gotta have a pirate smoker 420 celebration or something. I just
Yeah,
don't know
but
how
you
to do
also
it
need
without.
lookouts.
Yeah, well, we're in Kansas, so we can't do a proper.
Well, no, look, you're pirates, so just send somebody up a freaking crow's nest to keep an eye out for the popo. All right,
We used to have to do that with alcohol. Shit.
exactly.
Um, let's see.
No, officer, I thought it was a tomato plant. I'm just as shocked as you are.
Berto says, "Aren't you excited for the Ray movie?" Which I don't know if you've heard of that.
No, it's a Ray movie.
Well, Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy, who needs to have nothing to do with Star Wars, but is in charge of everything, is really pushing forward the Ray movie. So Ray from the last three,
Yeah.
7, 8, 9, she's getting her own spin-off trilogy now,
Well, why
where it's
not? They
all
all do.
her. Um, I,
I
I'm
mean, the
actually.
Ewoks had a Christmas special. Who cares?
Well, did you watch them though?
That's the whole point. Let them bomb, and then they learn.
No, but that's the thing, they're not learning. Disney's stock is and they're still pumping this shit out. Mandalorian season 1 and 2, we loved season 3, then everybody's like, "Hey, you guys are going a little far with this."
Well, and see, and
Um,
that's the whole thing is Disney lives and breathes on what their stockholders want, and if it
yes,
continues to tank too much, the stockholders will rein them in.
and that's the problem though, is some stockholders have like a political agenda. So what they want isn't always about.
And you know what? If they don't have a majority share, it doesn't freaking matter.
Kristen says, I am all for inclusivity, but it needs to be organic and not so forced. That I'm
Dread
all.
would just, I'll say it again and again. Dread, she was one of the best. And that's one of the things, too. When you can stop making a certain subsect of humanity magical just because of whatever they were born with. We used to have the magical Native Americans. We used to have the magical gays. We used to have the magical black men. All right.
Hey,
And now it's all magical women. All right. When you can have them be the baddie and just be the baddie for being bad, like Lena did in Dread, that is
yes.
when true inclusivity is there, is when they can play the bad guy.
And I said this to Christy earlier today too. It's like Dread, it was low budget enough. It had no agendas. And like Carl Urban going, well, I'm not taking the mask off. He is a
That
fan
was
of Dread, you know. And it's
wonderful.
like, thank you. You were more into telling a good story that the
Mm-hmm.
fans would like than you were into I've got to have this moneymaker scene
Right.
kind of thing. And that alone made him my favorite Dread over Stallone easily, let alone the
You
story was
know
just
that
more Dread like.
if Stallone had been that one scene where Dredd gets shot through the wall, Stallone would have used that for a whole thing in order to be able to take off his shirt,
Yes.
and
Uh,
and Urban did not.
I was going to finish reading Kristen's thing, but you had
Oh yeah,
mentioned all the magical characters. Have you seen the trailer for, was it the Society of Magical Negroes? Okay, see, the silence told me a lot. Um,
it sounds
it,
like a
it
Key and Peele skit,
it sounds like it, but it's not. I
because they
see
did a skit on that.
the not. This is, yeah, they did do a skit with that. This is the idea that all those magical Negroes are an actual society, and it could be a good movie. It looks like it could be funny, but it's more of a love story. That it's been done before with angels and different things, but the idea is there is a group of magical Negroes that help people out, just like in the movies all the time, but they're real and it's following them, which I'd be fine on.
Yeah,
A lot of people are mad just because of the title and different things. The problem being is their main goal is nothing is more dangerous than a what is it, complaining white person or something. So they got to go out there and make sure that the white people don't get upset, so that they don't end up like blowing up the world. So it's a whole society of magical Negroes out there just trying to make sure white people aren't going off the hinges. And yeah, it's a
if
little
they're
much.
playing it for laughs,
Which if it was
that
a
I can
straight
understand.
comedy
The
like
hu
Key and
if
Peele's,
yeah, if it's humor, I understand.
yeah, but it's a romance. It's him falling in love with someone. So I don't know. Um, I think David Allen Greer's in it, which he's got good comic chops and everything.
Yeah,
I just don't.
he's the guy from SNL, right?
From Mad TV and stuff. Yeah,
Oh, from Mad TV. That's right.
yeah. Let's see what and that's a whole nother subject to get into. It's one of those on. I'm on the. It could be really good, or it could go in a really bad direction. Again, writing. If that's done really well with the writing, it's probably gonna be an awesome movie.
Well,
But the
you know,
internet
think
is kind
about
of up in
some of
arms
the
about it.
more spoofy ones that they had. Remember back, I think it was late '90s, early 2000. I mean, even I have to mute myself on this one, or gay inward from outer space.
Have not seen this one.
It was a humorous thing done by a bunch of very gay black guys, and they were, you know, coming in from outer space and saving the gay populace from the horrible women.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Well,
it was short. It was so low budget. It reminded me of what was that movie, Dark Star?
I don't know what movie you're referring to. I guess.
Dark Star. It was one of, oh god, not Lucas's first, but one of the big directors who we think of. But anyways, it was one of his first movies, Dark Star. God, hold on.
You gonna Google it now?
I have to Google it now. I
Well,
have
and
to. It's a must.
again, good writing, tongue in cheek kind of stuff. It can be done really well. It's just when it's very forced. A example for me would be I'm an SNL fan, and I know SNL's gone downhill. I can't think of his name. The Asian guy, uh, he's gay. He started 2 3 years ago. When they brought him on, every
John
skit that
Carpenter. It was a
oh John Carpenter.
1974 John Carpenter movie.
So this guy from SNL, they brought him on, in that first season, everything they did with him was you're playing the stereotypical gay guy. It's like they hired a gay guy to play gay parts that they wanted, and he
Basically,
sucked.
they need, in order to be PC, they couldn't have somebody who's not
Right.
gay playing a gay part, so they brought in a gay guy to be the gay part.
In that whole first season, almost in most of the second season I watched with
He
him, it
was
was just like
he was the
worthless. Why are they
token.
guys on it?
I almost said the
But
F word. He was the token gay guy.
yeah, well, and yeah, don't say that. But now he is doing a lot more writing, and a lot of his skits are starting to make it.
Good.
And it's like, oh, instead of just putting him in as stereotypical gay guy and actually listening to his comedy that he's writing, his stuff's getting a lot better. It's
Mm-hmm.
like instead of you guys telling everybody what that community wants, maybe let that community do it, and then we can see if it works. And he's done a lot better now that they've let him write a lot of his stuff and perform a lot of his characters. And I can get on board with that guy now because originally I just didn't like him. Now I'm like, yeah, he fits, he belongs there.
Yeah.
But it took a lot of letting them do it instead of these producers and saying stuff going, hey, here's what you want, here's what you got to have. Um, oh shit, I never did make it through all of Kristen's post here.
No, you didn't.
She said it's been forced. Actually, the DC Arrowverse seems to be a huge example where I was actually getting sick of it. I was getting sick of the Arrowverse on a lot of that. Berto says Gen V, which is the spinoff series for The Boys, proves it's writing the issue. It's
Writing is the
everywhere.
issue. Okay.
Hollywood wishes they were. Um, I want to. Kelly had said they are funded by the U.S. government. I assume he is talking about those programs I was mentioning. And and Kristen mentioned the Magical Negroes movie. And if it were reversed, as Kelly says, it would be a train wreck. But I hate even saying that because anytime you go, if they did that against men or white people or whatever, then that's immediately the argument that everybody will use of, well, you can't say that, you're a straight white guy. So even us being two middle-aged straight white guys here, we shouldn't be talking about any of this. And we
Hey,
have to apologize every 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
I can't be racist. My wife has 2 black eyes. All right.
Which one? Holy shit. You're going to get me in trouble. Please
I've
have
been
Jessica
saving
on.
that for weeks. I've been saving that for weeks for the right moment.
And you still haven't found that right moment yet, have
No,
you?
I haven't.
Um, oh, Lady Di got on. Hi, Lady Di. How are you?
Good moment to get on.
And Mac jumped on as well. Diane, I hope you guys had a great Christmas and everything. I know you guys have had a hard year, and I think of you guys daily lately. So I'm glad to see you're at least saying hi. Um, and Mac, who's part of the Wags. But yeah, I mean, I could go on and on. The Ryan Reynolds thing, the Fantastic Four stuff coming up. A lot of that I will save for our Death of Disney episode when we do it next in 2024. But I wanted to bring up the Ryan Reynolds thing because it right now I go, Disney's banking so much on Deadpool 3 and they're saying it, and what they're doing, but is they're going, okay, here's something that's successful. Here's something we haven't touched that has done really well, and we are failing miserably, and we got to look good. So let's get in and fuck it up. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. And I think they're just going to run more people off. And this is probably going to be the last Deadpool movie we see with Ryan Reynolds because of this. And it's so sad.
That is
To me.
sad. But, but here's the thing too is the movie industry, and thank you, Roberto. We will print that off and put that in our wallets that we have permission now.
I has bestowed upon you the gift of using a homophobic slur as no other straight uh, peasants may do so. Thank you, Burrow. I appreciate that.
um, but yeah, they are, because it's the thing where they don't want to make do the chance of doing anything new for fear that it will bomb. And so once they find something that makes them money, they will beat it into the ground until, we're eventually going to have to step away from it. And uh, once it has a chance to die down, then we can revisit it. I mean, if you take a look at let's look at the typical Star Wars.
Right.
After the first Star Wars movies came out, there were so many clones. It,
Yeah.
not meaning a clone war. Hold
Well,
on.
like Black Hole came out.
Oh yeah,
Disney
Battle
put it out
Beyond
for
the
dogs.
Stars. All these bad takeoffs. And attempting to recapture that glory, and people went and watched them. People went and watched them, and
Same
go.
thing with Marvel movies. When superhero movies came out, everybody was making superhero movies. All
Oh
these
yeah, I
intense.
mean, I love seeing the ones like you see like the Indian Batman. You ever seen the
Oh,
videos
yeah.
of that?
That was one of my favorite things when we would go do the previews for the Alamo theaters. They
Uh
would
huh.
hire us to come in and do little shows before the movies, like when Batman versus Superman came out and stuff. And Alamo was so good about getting exactly what you're talking about, like the Indian Batman,
Oh yeah.
whatever Chinese Spider Man and stuff.
Yeah,
And they would
yeah.
show all that
Pakistani
for the
Superman.
yeah, they would show it. Matter of fact, I think Pakistani was Superman was one where he's in there with like Marvel characters and they're all dancing and
Oh
but they would
yeah.
show these before the movies and it was just like watching funny YouTube videos with a room full of geeks because we'd always watch it like the day or two before the movie came out. So it was just a room full of like guys that own comic stores or that cosplayers and we all enjoyed that stuff so damn much.
Mm-hmm.
And I really miss that. Damn, but see, and God, I feel like I could just bitch about the wokeness of it all for a while, but
You
and I
can.
want to see
I'm really hearing your dad in this.
it's oh really?
Yeah.
It's not even the wokeness of it. It's just the poor writing. It's the idea of putting stuff out just to put it out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to kill all of that to where
Oh, it is.
and I already see it,
It's gonna knock it into the ground, and you're gonna have to take a look to see what the next big thing is gonna be.
and it's reflecting. And this is for my own geekdom, but reflecting comic book prices. Because it
Mm-hmm.
used to be as soon as they announced a comic book movie, you're like, okay, these issues, these key issues, first appearances are going to go up.
Yeah.
Now, depending on who's doing it,
Mm-hmm.
like even Disney now, they just announced Excalibur, which is one of my favorite comics. Alan Davis, fucking awesome. And they just announced it. Normally, it'd be like all those Excalibur comics are going to go up, but already the chat on the internet, everybody's like, well, we're not touching anything until we know who's playing them, what the script's going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they ruin it, like Captain Marvel, that got series canceled. It literally got comic books canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they own the comic books as well, but there's a whole industry of those of us out there buying and reselling old comics that
But
it
and see,
kills it.
this is the thing too that you're gonna have to realize is that the fact that these huge companies have purchased everything to do with it. They've purchased the comic books, they've purchased the movie rights, they've purchased the soundtrack rights, they've purchased the likenesses. They own everything. I mean, they even own the name of the people who make it, so they can fire those people and still keep making it with somebody else using their name. I mean,
And that's where this multiverse is coming in real handy
yeah,
for them. They're just like
and
fire, recast.
yeah, and so, but the thing is that they can just they are eventually going to run it all into the ground to the point that nobody is going to care about it anymore, and nobody's going to spend any money on it, and so then they're gonna they're gonna close shop on a lot of stuff. and all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're going to see Spider-Man and Superman down to just like two stories going at once instead of the 20 stories that are going at once right now.
They've already been closing shop. You know how many movies Marvel canceled this year? Next year, right now, the only thing Marvel superhero movie to be released is Deadpool
Mm.
3. That's the only movie in 2024 that they're planning on releasing.
And they need
Because
to. They need to because there is such a tiredness of it.
it is
So
superhero
tired of it.
fatigue. Yeah. Rachel Zimmerman's watching. Hey, Rachel, it's good to see you, or not see you, but see you're there. Umberto said you should watch the Russian Avengers. They have a communist bear. I
I
have
know.
watched it.
I haven't
It's
watched it, but
it's
I've seen some excerpts from it. It
yeah.
looks fun.
Um, but yeah, the whole thing really boils down. There's a pendulum. This is
Yeah.
what my wife says all the time with everything, but like with this, it's everything's and people are very right. Everything was very male heavy and
Hmm.
testosterone and all this, and then it just swings the other way. All it no, it never really stops in the middle, but every once in a while we get that little bit where it's in the middle. Dread's a great example where we go there, just keep it there. Don't
Yeah, yeah.
and then it just
Oh, it
keeps
went
going.
past.
So it's like every 5 or 6 years we get it like a one season of good shit, and then it just goes
Hmm.
the other way, and everybody complains. It's like if we could just stop in the middle, because really most people would be happy with that. Like the majority of people I know would just be happy that middle length.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I could even say that right now concerning like my favorite, which is Star Trek.
is it?
They
I noticed.
well, no, Star Trek has always been woke since
Have
day
oh,
one.
oh,
Star Trek has been woke, but there's a certain level of wokeness, and just like with everything, even on Star Trek, this pendulum is swinging a bit far to the other side right now. And
but
yeah,
again, writing Star Trek did it. They did it in a good way, especially at the beginning there when it needed to be done. I
oh
mean, to
yeah,
me, they would be a textbook example of the way a lot of that needed to be done.
but I look back. I tried watching like the TOS, the original series, or according to Strange New Worlds, those old scientists. I've tried watching the original series, and even as woke as they were for their time, you try watching it now, and it is cringe.
Really,
You're just
see,
like,
and
oh, that is, yeah,
it's
you have women there, but they're not really there yet.
yeah, you got to watch it though through the eyes of people of that time.
Oh yeah, eyes
So
of
people
people
of
of
the
that
60s
time,
and
it was
70s.
amazingly woke.
Yeah, yeah, it was amazingly because now you watch it and you see like a her on the bridge and you don't think it's safe. Matter of fact, you think there aren't many black people up there,
Yeah.
you know. And I mean, you see the short skirts and all that, but you think that. But back then, that was a much bigger deal. It
Oh, it
was
was huge.
having a Russian and an Asian and all that. I know those are the standard stereotypical, but
Well, you have to remember the Asian, the people watching that, a lot of them had just been at war with the Asians. The Russian, they were still at war with the Russians, and it was all during the civil rights period. And to have a black woman on the screen who wasn't just a maid or something like that, that was amazing for that time.
but
But
also that
yeah,
gives them the credibility on that because now what it is everybody's doing it like in everything like Disney's doing it but they're doing it in everything they're putting out and some of it I'm not saying they need stories that are male based or white based or anything like that. It's just they just need stories that are actually inclusive,
yeah,
not
and that's one of my problems with the whole culture is not the fact of being inclusive, but they are being inclusive at the behest of belittling those the other people. I mean, right now, I can tell you 95% of the time, a bad guy is going to be a white male.
yeah. I mean, and in fairness, though, there was a period of time we went through where a bad guy is always going to be a Russian dude,
Or
or a
yeah,
bad guy is always going to be, yeah.
they should just keep it the way it is. Bad guys should always be a Nazi. All right. Um,
Which brings us back to Dread with a cool bad guy,
yeah,
bad girl.
exactly. No, but that's the thing is it's always right now men are either extremely um, controlling and the masterminds of everything and pure evil, or we're idiots who can't even tie our own shoes.
Um,
And somehow we're both things at the same time.
Berto put, I just discovered the magic of All Star Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder, greatest comic series ever.
Oh, excellent. Hey,
He
hey,
also,
Lyle.
oh, Lyle, greetings. Lyle, man, brother, I haven't talked to you in a little while. Um, Berto also put, I loved that Alex Kirschman saying he finally brought diversity to Star Trek. Finally.
Oh yeah.
And put women and people of color in the show. Yeah, that's yeah, praise him, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Lyle says I like Star Trek better when the ship was at risk, not the entire human race every time. How many reboots has there been?
Well, and see,
Eh,
that's one of the problems is that's I don't like. That's one of the reasons I don't like reboots. Not necessarily reboots. I don't like any kind of prequel or anything like that, is because they're once again they're doing the thing where they are going through with material that they already have, that they already know everything to, and because of that they're not taking a chance.
I I'm okay with the reboot if it's done, if it needed done. So somebody, I think it was Kelly, brought up the Highlander reboot. I don't think that needs done.
No.
I wasn't a big fan of Highlander 2 or anything, but Highlander, the original movie, it's a great movie. I
Yeah.
will say when Henry Cavill was attached, I was kind of like, yeah, now I want to see it. But it
No,
doesn't need
no,
to
not
be
even
done.
Henry Cavill, because I mean that
Well, I want to
whole
see it just because I like Henry Cavill.
yeah.
Who is he's seen all these problems, and he just made this big announcement. What, on Christmas, I think it was, that with the Warhammer 40K series he's doing, that he
That's
is
his
not.
passion project.
Yeah, and he's not bowing down to any of the I have to be inclusive in this way. They're going to be inclusive, but they're going to stick true to the story. They're not changing characters just for the that woke agenda.
Yeah,
But then again, like
exactly,
Howard the Duck.
Lyle. Sorry, Lyle's
But
saying that they could have picked another ship at the same time, but a different frontier. This would have worked in any of the generations, and that's one of the reasons that one of the best ones happening right now, Lyle, um, is Star Trek Below Decks.
I love
And
Below Decks.
yeah, Below Decks is great because, well, for the first time, it's not all about the heads of every department, and
It's got comedy chops.
yeah, and it's got good comedy chops, and I mean, at first I wasn't all about it because I didn't like the Mariner character, but she's kind of grown on me.
The thing that got me at first is I was like, "Ooh, they're trying to be Rick and Morty real hard,
Oh
and they're
yeah,
just not." Which Rick and Morty's got me a little this season. I really liked, but they changed the voice
you've
actor
never
and
heard of
stuff.
Below Decks? Mm,
Oh, yeah, it's an animated series on Paramount Plus. I'm not caught up by any means, but I've enjoyed it. What I've seen of it.
yeah,
Um,
they
they
even
just
did
did a
a
big
they even did a live action
crossover.
crossover with Strange
Yeah,
New Worlds.
that I have not yet seen it. You mentioned it before, and I want to see
Yeah.
that. Um, but yeah, which we could talk forever. Kelly said they're using Queen music for Highlander, which
Well,
I'm
so
cool
what they
with.
did in the first one.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's such good music though.
Yeah,
Anytime Queen takes over a soundtrack, Highlander, I don't know,
Flash
Flash
Gordon
Gordon, one of the best movies ever made.
ever,
Um, yeah.
despite what my wife says.
Oh yeah, I know your wife said what's that, an hour and a half of my life I can't get back.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, my wife had to listen at lunch today when I talked about uh the the prince. I can't think of his name. The prince that turned to kill Ming in the original scene where Flash ends up doing the football battle
Yeah.
in the. So he turns, tries to kill Ming, ends up getting taken down. Right.
Yeah, get the ring action going on him.
Right.
Yeah.
He dies. Nobody talks about him again. He's just forgotten about.
Yeah.
Flash plays football with some guards and knocks down a few guards. He's a legend. This other guy just died and he ends up, everybody thinks he's dead because he gets gassed. This guy just tried to kill Ming right in front of everybody. He balled up and just, was all leader about it, and then Flash Gordon does it. He's a legend. This other guy, we won't even talk about him. Doesn't matter. He was a minor character, you know.
Well, and I think the reason for that is I'm pretty sure that was not the first assassination attempt on Ming
No,
that week.
yeah, but then why is flashes? Because it looked
Because
cool.
he was a novelty. He was a new thing brought in from this new planet. He was a novel. He was the flavor of the week, and it just so happened the flavor of the week toppled the empire.
I could see it. Well, yeah, but it took a little time. I mean, that's no. A lot of people didn't know he was alive literally until we got that Voltan Gordon's alive
Yes,
line, and it's
rocket ship Ajax. Yeah.
half these people watching weren't even old enough to remember that movie. So, speaking of which, Catherine, hi, how are you doing? Um, uh, yeah, I know sometimes people look at me blankly when I start talking Flash Gordon, but um, anyhow, we should probably move on. We've been on an hour already.
We have been
Um,
on an hour and 20.
oh shit. Okay, I gotta hit some conventions real quick then, so we can get off here and move on.
Yeah, let's hit the con part of this ConCast.
You're just gonna listen to Darrel and I talking about shit. Um, so coming up here local, I don't have all the list of events. I'm planning on that for next year when we get going. I'll start uh,
Next
hitting
year.
that. This
Next
this
year.
is my end of year where I'm filling out applications for local events still, and but we do have some new events coming up. One that started last year here in Wichita, the McConnell Con, which is at McConnell Air Force Base. It was a small event, but a friend of ours, a couple friends of ours, are working to put that event together, including John Pick, who's a great guy. It's done a lot of stuff here locally. Um, they're doing that June 8th. It looks like that thing's starting to grow and get a little traction, but it's a good family friendly event. And I believe, and I could be misquoting, I believe any proceeds of that are going back to uh, fundraising for the Air Force Base and stuff like that. An event this year that has moved to a 2 day event, not so much local, but in Saget, Illinois, at a place called Pops, is the Gateway Pirate Festival. If Buddy's still on here, I would love to see you there. Body Buccaneers. I'm going to be at that event. It is put on by our buddy Jake, or everybody knows him as Smoke from Totally Lost group, and it is 2 days of music from Three Pints Gone, Drunken Sailor. I mean, all these great Pictus musical blades will be doing their final show there. The final show of the musical blades after 23 years, I think, is going to be at this event. Um, it's going to be it's the rock concert for pirate people for sure. That's one you guys want to hit. Um, and I'll be there. I'll be doing some MC work there. Great Plains Renaissance Festival just announced April 20th through 21st. So if anybody has any good ideas for a 420 smoker, let me know. And that's here in Wichita. AFW is June 22nd through 21st, which is the anime festival we run. Um, Hutch MiniCon. It'll be their first year doing that. It's a 1 day event, March 16th. They'll have costume contests, vendors, different things like that. It's going to be a promotion for the Hutch Comic Con coming up. It's their first year. Unfortunately, it's the same weekend as Anime Festival Wichita, uh, which I that bothers me some, but I don't know the circumstances behind it. As Ash and I were talking earlier, I mean, I don't know why that's happening, but it is the same weekend. Just people being aware. But it should be a good con. They've got $1,000 worth of cosplay prizes on the line for that one. Um, Mikey Mason, our good buddy that did the intro song for this show, is doing the New Year's online special show December 31st. That's a good one to get in. He's taking requests, doing new stuff. He's got so many songs, it's stupid. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff. So if you guys want to hear your favorite stuff, definitely try to get some requests in there. Those are a lot of the local things just coming up here pretty soon. We're getting a lot more stuff coming in February and March of this year than we've ever had in this area, which I'll be talking about next episode. Um, and I ran through those really fucking quick, didn't I? But I
That's
want to make
okay.
sure I got
It's been a while since you've had to, collate a list and get it all ready. And so I'm sure as you get back into the swing of doing this, you'll have, many more things that you can put out there like you used to.
there's plenty more events to talk about. And again, it also depends on what everybody's into because there's so much smaller stuff now. I mean, Headshots is doing local stuff. We're getting, I'll put in quotes mini cons a lot lately, which
Mm-hmm.
I've seen mini cons. One I'm going to talk about next episode is our friend in Garden City. It's putting one on, where it's a library con. You actually have celebrity guests and panels, and it's literally a mini con. And then there are some mini cons I've seen which literally are just a garage sale that about 4 or 5 geeks get together and sell their old stuff. And they call it
Right.
a mini con. So we're getting so many of those, and it's really hard to define what's a convention, like what you should dress up and go to, or what you can plan on going and actually finding like rare items or getting autographs, or even buying and selling actual comics and not just somebody's collection. It's a give and take. It's hard to tell right now with the way the community is, what's a convention worth advertising, which I want to say they're all worth advertising,
They are.
um, but which ones are worth talking about, people are going to want to do.
Well,
uh,
I think, and this is just my opinion, and as everybody's opinion, it's worth its weight in shit. But I think that uh, it would not be a bad thing to just go ahead and list even the garage saley ones, because you never know who's going to be interested. You never know
right,
when somebody's garage gathering is going to turn into the next big, Dragon Con.
right. Well, and that's the thing. It's one of those things right now. My state of mind will be like with ConCast before, where we're just going to list everything going on,
Yeah.
and people can pick and choose. And I'll list a few things within driving distance that are epic enough to go check out,
Well,
such as the
see,
Pirate
that's the
Fest.
problem. That's driving distance for you. We have other people who are not us.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Um, but there are a lot of people on here, like a lot of people watching tonight, are people that go and do these kinds of events that we
Oh
see
yeah.
at these events. So I'd like to promote some of that, but the local events, I think I'll just put everything. I know in some ways when dates overlap, that's going to screw some people, because like if I talk about a parking lot convention, and then in the same breath we've got like the 3 day Comic Con happening right over here the same weekend, it's just going to kill that parking lot convention.
Oh, it
But
is.
and again, if I don't talk about it at all, nobody will know. You know,
Exactly. That's my point. I mean, you'll be, we'll be, just by sheer gravity, be pulled towards the things that are larger. I mean,
yeah,
that's the reason, we like big butts. But, uh, but the,
uh, so
we still need to mention the little guys, because who else is little guys?
us,
Us.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I know, yeah. And I want to mention, because like I would love to sit here and talk. I could probably talk at some point. We should get Tammy on, that runs Big River. She was on here earlier, because they're doing so much new stuff for the 10th anniversary show, and it's just expanding into new stuff. And I would love to talk about a convention and just talk about all the cool stuff they have. It's kind of hard then to reach out to somebody who's doing a small parking lot convention, because then we get it feels like well, hell, like I've done, where we've gotten onto the news and you're on the news talking, and they give you got 4 minutes to think, go, and
What?
trying to get it all out there.
Well, and see, that's the thing is, we don't necessarily have to, you know, we don't have to give airtime to Bob's, garage sale.
Yeah,
But then again, if there is somebody, I mean, we could. I mean, this is just spitballing here, just shooting ideas. If somebody wanted to put together their own little, with their phone, shoot little
promo.
15-30 second commercial. Hey, we're gonna have this down here, and look, my ad is on sale or whatever. Um, who knows? We might use that as a filler.
Which I guess I shouldn't worry about it too much until we get things rolling, like how Concast was before, where it's
Yeah.
the we're actually worth promoting on, because we would go to these cons and interview the
Mm-hmm.
guests and do live feeds, and we're just not there right now. Which
Oh gods, no.
Tammy's on here. She said still hanging out. Lol. Um, I gotta say, Catherine and Kenneth, also Kenneth, the big comic book geek, um, put Flash Gordon. What's that? I'm not old enough to know that, which is wrong. Catherine says who? But yeah, um, Kristen says I wish I could hit Gateway Pirate Fest. We should just put a van together, because my wife's going to that one too. We should just do a van and a whole bunch of us go down. That would be awesome. Um,
A land cruise.
a land cruise. We used to do that back in the day. But we also used to camp out at festivals.
Yeah, yeah. We
There's
used to
a
be
reason we
young.
don't.
Yeah.
I can remember a couple times when we used to have the Freebrews, the Flatland group. I'd take like a whole van full of people down, and we'd go hit Oklahoma, Kansas City, whatever, and I'd have like 30 people, and we'd all be doing street performing and stuff. But then that means you're corralling 15 drunks, trying to make sure they all get back in the car and nobody's causing a problem. And if they
Yeah, see, and
do,
you got so used to that, you started the scallywags.
no, I had the scallywags before then. Um, that's actually, bless his heart, that's where I got Rusty. Uh, he was in the Freebooters, and when I disbanded that group, I was like, let's pick about the three best guys and just bring them on. You were in the Freebooters for a while.
I was?
Yeah, well, I think you were just coming to hang out. We were when we were doing the fencing group and stuff
Oh,
and
there
all
were
that.
some chicks.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, there
Um,
were some chicks I was macking on.
I do remember that a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
So do they. So do the restraining orders.
uh, Berto says he's not gonna be able to attend cons this year for reasons. Uh, that I don't like cocaine for some reason. What?
No, the Wichita Police Department
Oh, oh,
doesn't like cocaine. And actually,
oh,
that's a bald-faced lie. They love it.
oh. um,
Every time they do a bust and they get a pound of it, they turn that ounce in.
Ken says I have to go as far as Grand Rapids for big cons and Topeka for little ones. Max
She
says no
has gone.
camping.
He has gone. Yeah.
Oh, has gone. Oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to skip through these quick, but Max says no camping. I remember back in the days when Mac used to perform with us. He was hardcore into it. He'd bring MREs and stuff, and he'd bring a little tent, and he'd very military like. He'd camp out and all that. And when you're young, that stuff's cool and fun.
Yeah.
Now you got to have a shower. You got to get away from people a
Humans.
little bit.
Yeah.
Um, Kelly says, I'd love to help you guys any way I can. Look, Geek Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, we should have you on here sometime. We should do. Kelly is like one of the He Man. I honestly think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I think Kelly's got one of the biggest He Man collections probably through the Midwest, if not
Really?
the country. I mean, it is. He's got original sculpts of toys, prototypes that never came out. He's got an impressive He-Man collection that is just like if I needed something He-Man, really toys, I go to Kelly, but He-Man is definitely the shit. His whole living is buying and reselling toys online and different things like that. Um,
Yeah.
cool
Matter of
stuff.
fact, Jessica has taken over one of the shelves in here. I call it the She-Ra shelf. There's a Princess of Power lunchbox and stuff like that up there.
Yeah, I Chris used remind me how many shelves I have and how many little areas because, like I said, Aquaman 2 stuff's been out for a week, already on clearance. So I was buying like $3 12-inch Aquaman figures, and she's like, "You have too many fandoms." I said, "I
Yeah,
don't have one
yeah,
fandom. It's geek.
and
It's an
and
encompassing."
you've gotten a bit stingy. I remember you'd pay a lot more for 12 inches of Aquaman earlier.
Yeah, well, you know, it is Momoa, so it's yeah.
Yeah,
No, I actually that's the one benefit I have to the Aquaman thing coming to a close. I like Momoa's Aquaman, but I'm gonna get hopefully my cheesy orange and green.
white guy.
Uh, yeah, it's not even so much the white guy. I just want
Come
a,
on, in
I
uh,
want
in
the
the boys, you had the deep.
yeah I want the if you ever watch the Brave and the Bold the cartoon you got
No.
to go watch it. I can't even think of his name, dude from Drew Carey voiced Batman stuff, but it's just so tongue in cheek. And Aquaman on there was Brian Blessed, who played Voltan, and it wasn't him, but he acted like him.
Uh
You
huh.
ever saw Voltan and Flash Gordon?
Right.
It was just Aquaman spinning fishtails and being an old bearded dude that just laughed at everything and didn't give a shit. And he's like, I rule 3/4 of the world, but yeah, I'll come help you guys out. Why not? That's the guy I love. If we could get that. Um, but yeah, oh, Biggins sending me stuff on Spring Pirate Smoker now. I got to check that out. But we've been on for an hour and a half. We should look at tying it up. Um, Next year when we come back, we're planning on trying to do things a little bit more, having people on, doing more stuff. Uh, we're just kind of right now. We're going to go because if we don't, it won't happen. That's how I feel. Does that make sense? Or does that sound negative?
Where are we going?
Doing the podcast.
Oh yeah, we're gonna keep doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we debated on waiting until next year. And it's like, you know what? If we put it off, we might just put it off. Let's just do it, have fun,
Yeah,
chat. And as long as our friends have fun chatting with us and we're having a good time, that's even if we don't get the viewers we once had, doesn't matter.
doesn't
If we
matter.
do, awesome. But we've been there, done that. The idea is have a good time now. So,
Yeah,
um, yeah. Having that said, I think we're done, right?
a 16-foot by 8-foot shelf. That's not a shelf. That's a table.
The basement on my bedroom looks like a toy store. I I I would love to turn my camera and show you guys just the room I'm in. I oh god, I don't know how my wife puts up, but it is so cluttered right now
Yeah,
because of
that's my
Christmas.
problem.
But they come over with Christmas, but
That's the reason I
th-
use this background. It's because
I
it's bad back here.
this room I call my art studio, but really it's just full of comic books everywhere. Comic books, comic books. I got
And
one
no
room
one said it
downstairs.
had to be your art.
No, yeah,
Mhm.
I got one room downstairs that's just for leatherworking. I've got another room downstairs it's my office, but it's just Ghostbuster stuff. Got another room downstairs. It's just storage for Ren Fair stuff, and another one's just storage for steampunk stuff. And then I've got a storage unit across town that is nothing but like animatronics for zombie shit and stuff. Hell, there's a 30-foot pirate ship in the yard and a 50-foot dragon sitting in North Newton. I got too much shit that I just store and store and store
Yeah,
and store. And
you could literally have a full-time job for the next 5 years of listing that stuff and selling it, and you would make bank.
I've seriously considered doing it just because of my kids. One day they will have no idea, and all everybody watch. When I die one day, you're gonna make great deals because
Oh,
my
people are
kids.
waiting, and not just for the deals. They're
Yeah,
waiting for you
yeah,
to
you
go.
just want it to happen. No, it's there are so many cool things here. Original art, different autograph stuff, different just one of a kind prototypes, and it just sits. And some of it's in boxes, just being stored. That's why I was so excited that yesterday I started, or in Christmas I started actually putting up a lot of the stuff for display.
Hmm.
Because then it looks cool, and it's not just in a box. So maybe sometime we should do an episode where we just show off
I
weird
don't have
geek
that
shit.
much. I really don't have that much. I mean, I've got like a shelf of models and some stuff like that. I don't have nothing compared to you. I've
Oh
got
man, I'd love
maybe a quarter of a bedroom of stuff. That's about it.
some of the people watching now, even and people locals like Zach Axe is a great example. Yeah, I got a shelf up here, it's just all Bruce Campbell, a lot of signed stuff, and people look at it and they're like, "Wow, it's amazing." Then you look at Zach, who lives in Wichita, and he's got like, of course, the Bruce Campbell tattoos and everything. He's got one of a kind prototype stuff directly from the movies, uh, Close Encounter, just all sorts. Hell, when I met Sam Jones, which I got a huge Flash Gordon collection, him and I
Fetish.
met Sam
Yeah.
Jones at the same time. He walks up with the original sculpts of the Mego Pops for Flash Gordon, like the one of a kind sculpts, and has him sign them. And I'm over here like, hey, could you sign my Queen album? I mean, and then I
Yeah,
walk around with this signed Queen album like I'm a stud, and he's
but
got
but who ends up being friends with Sam Jones
yeah. Well, fair enough.
and has his number in his phone?
Yeah, and I will say Zach's like that with a lot of. I can't remember who it was last event I did with him. I think it was the guy that played Pinhead. I can't remember his name. That he just knew well enough that after the con, they're just like, "Hey, we're going out to eat with Pinhead," and it's out to dinner, and you're like, "Oh man!" But we've all got our little cliques like that,
Yep.
and uh, but well, hell, a great example too with that. Zach just bought a Delta, same car that Bruce Campbell has in Evil Dead, and he's totally refurbishing the whole car to be the Evil Dead car. Uh,
Evil Dead
yeah,
1, Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead One.
Okay.
What you want is him to redo it like Army of Darkness with the big fan on the front and
That's what
put
you
like
want.
zombie parts and or
Hmm.
deadite parts on it. Yeah.
It's
All
been
right,
in
man.
almost every one of Sam Raimi's movies. I mean, he could redo it as the Spider-Man one.
Oh, yeah, yeah, because it's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, it was Uncle Ben's car.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's put it in a lot of movies as a little Easter egg or cameo.
Hmm.
All right, we've been an hour and a half on a 1 hour podcast.
Hour 40. Yeah.
I guess technically we can do whatever we want.
Yes, we
But
can.
all right, man. I will see you later, brother.
Alrighty.
And hugs and kisses to everybody out there. We'll see you guys probably next week, I think, unless it lands on New Year's or something.
No,
Haven't
no,
done.
the New Year's is on Monday.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
All right, we'll
Take her easy.
talk to you guys later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.